Hello, everybody. My name is Ryan Koki of the Seahawks Recap Show, and welcome to the final week of the preseason finale for the Seattle Seahawks for the 2025-2026 season versus the Green Bay Packers at Lambeau Field. And man, not the way you want to end off the preseason. Very not mad, but very disappointed in how that game resulted. Just a dominant victory by the Packers, and I'm just here to talk about it. Win or lose, still going to be a good sport about it. So before I ramble on a little too much more in the intro, let's get in to recapping this preseason final between the Green Bay Packers and Seattle Seahawks. If you like this video, please make sure to give it a like. Helps you know if I'm doing a good job on these videos or not. And if you would be so kind as to subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on any more Seahawks future content from this channel, that would be greatly appreciated. The game summary: Packers win 20 to the Seahawks 7. And yeah, let's start off with the Packers because they were the home team. They had a total of 206 yards, 70 yards passing, 136 yards rushing, averaged 3.1 yards per play, had 13 first downs, went 6 for 18 on third down, went 1 for 2 on fourth down, had 66 total plays, 4 sacks allowed, 6 punts, 4 penalties for 35 yards given up, 0 fumbles lost, 1 interception thrown by Malik Willis to Ty Okada. We'll get to that in a moment. But the Green Bay Packers finished off the day with 35 minutes and 43 seconds of possession time. For the Seattle Seahawks on the other side, they had 263 total yards, 123 yards passing, 130 yards rushing, averaged 4.8 yards per play, had only 9 first downs, went 2 for 13 on third down, went 1 for 4 on fourth down, had 53 total plays, 5 sacks allowed, 6 punts, had 5 penalties for 28 yards given up, had 4 fumbles lost, 0 interceptions thrown, and 24 minutes and 17 seconds of possession time. And just by those numbers, the fumbles dictated the game. Honestly, it was the first half was just so dominant by the Packers. They did not score another point in the entire game except for the first half. And the turnovers were a result of that. Jalen Murrow in his first NFL start, and we'll get more into that in depth because I got a lot to say there. But let's get to Ryan's focus players and let's talk about the Green Bay Packers first. And let's talk about Canadian QB Taylor Exima. 6 for 8, 33 yards, 1 touchdown, his first touchdown in the NFL, and 0 interceptions thrown. And I'm talking about Taylor here because he is from the CFL. He just got drafted into the CFL in 2025 and is now on the Green Bay Packers for the preseason. He is a Canadian and he's from Wilfrid Laurier. And seeing as how I am Canadian, I just thought I would highlight this guy because honestly, he made some pretty decent throws. The quarterback stats and the wide receiver stats are really lacking for the Packers in this game, but that's because they didn't really need to do much. The name of the game for the Packers today was more on the run game, which we will get to, but I think Taylor Eximra had a very good game today, despite him and Sean Coughlin, I believe his name is, splitting most of the game between those two quarterbacks for the Green Bay Packers. Let's get to the running back and let's highlight Emmanuel Wilson, 8 carries, 38 yards, 4.8 yards per carry, no touchdowns. But Emmanuel Wilson is a guy that you might remember from the Green Bay Packers, and you might remember me potentially talking about him a couple of years ago. He's the guy going to be sat behind and backing up Josh Jacobs in that running back room. He's their second string running back, and he was used pretty healthily in this game in the first half. And this is what I'm talking about. The Seahawks had a clear thing in this game, which was play your third stringers, play your fourth stringers. And the Packers were just like, okay, it's the final game. We want to win this game and we want to get our second team some reps in there to make sure that they're all ready to go. And Emmanuel Wilson is part of that second team. I think he really did well this game. There were a couple of starter offensive linemen for the Packers in this game, and Emmanuel Wilson, he is such a tough runner in between the tackles. But he also has surprisingly good speed on the outside. Didn't see him much on the outside, but I know he has it in his toolkit. You just saw him heavy down, pound the rock kind of style, like the Seahawks did last week against the Kansas City Chiefs. Good game from Emmanuel Wilson, though. Glad he has found a home on the Green Bay Packers. And let's get to the wide receiver. And like I'm going to mention, there wasn't many wide receiver threats for the Packers this game, but a guy I really wanted to highlight here was the first round draft pick, 23rd overall in this year's NFL draft, Matthew Golden, the wide receiver that the Packers selected. He is the first wide receiver the Packers have selected since 2002. Just to put that in perspective, I was born in 2002. So it's been that long since the Packers have drafted a wide receiver. One reception, 38 yards, average 38 yards per reception, no touchdowns. But that pass, it was Malik Willis on the first drive of the game. And this guy, Matthew Golden, even though he's got a weird wide receiver number at number 22, that's a really weird number on his jersey. But this guy, the way he caught this pass was a back shoulder, one-handed kind of grab where he just beat the quarterback. I don't know who he beat there for the Seahawks, but on the first drive of the game, he just took it and oh, okay, I'm gonna get a moon ball here, and he just went, oh, I'm just gonna grab it and I'm gonna take it in like it's nothing as a rookie. And that just shows me that the Green Bay Packers really got a good one here. If you're able to have that much confidence in your catch radius, you've got an ability and you've got raw athleticism on your side. You're going to be coachable in the NFL, and especially now with the wide receivers being high flying wide receivers for many years now. I think Matthew Golden is going to fit right in with Jordan Love when it comes to regular season action. So good game from Matthew Golden. Let's get to the Packers defense, the stars of the show, and let's get to D lineman Brenton Cox Jr., two solo tackles, one sack, one forced fumble. And man, he was great in this game. This guy is a undrafted rookie signed for this preseason for the Packers, and he made a statement in this game. Him and the whole D line against the Seahawks' third team of the offensive line just made mince meat the whole entire day. It was insane looking at the fumbles that caused the amount of pressure they were getting in on Jalen Milroe. It's very interesting to see how this Packers front fared against the Seahawks third string guys. And I can't believe how dominant the Packers front seven were. So good game from them, and good game from Brenton Cox Jr. Let's get to DB and let's get to cornerback. Tyrone Herring, two solo tackles, one assisted, zero sacks, zero interceptions. But Tyrone Herring, he was very interesting. I heard on the broadcast from Kate Scott and Michael Robertson, whenever a pass was thrown by Jalen Milroe, it seemed like Tyrone Herring didn't matter who it was, whether it was Cody White, whether it was Another rookie of theirs, Jake Bobo, sometimes he was on, and it was just insane. And this guy is a competitor. He is able, with a good defensive line, to just sit on routes, make sure that he's reading Jalen Murrow, making sure that he is in position to stop whatever passes are going his way. And that's why it was really tough for Jalen Murrow in this game. Good game from the cornerback, Tyron Herring. And let's get to the linebacker, and let's get to former first round pick linebacker Isaiah Simmons, former Cardinal, actually, and former Giant, now on his way to the Packers to probably find a home here. 6 solo tackles, 0 assisted, 0 sacks, 0 interceptions. This guy, for the majority of his career, they didn't know where to put him. Nobody knew if he was a safety or a linebacker. And now he's worked into a system at 27 where he's now being put in a position where he's now a solid linebacker. He's working the second level, and he never lost that ability of a first round pick, a top first round pick from a couple of seasons ago, in the tackling ability of this guy. The Seahawks, again, last week, the run game was excellent, able to bull over guys, able to, do whatever they wanted, run amok. Well, Isaiah Simmons doesn't really allow that. He is such a profound tackler, and he showed it up here, especially against a guy like Damian Martinez. Damian Martinez in this game had 7 carries for 24 yards. Isaiah Simmons was making sure that Damian could not get anywhere in this game. So good game from Isaiah Simmons. Good to see the former first round pick is finding a home, hopefully, in Green Bay. And let's get to the Seahawks. Let's talk about QB Jalen Milroe, his first preseason start in the NFL. And you know what? He did pretty well, all things considered. 13 for 24, 148 yards, 1 touchdown, no interceptions, 7 carries for 31 yards, average 4.4 yards per carry, 0 touchdowns. But Jalen Milroe, okay, there has got to be a lot of context here. And I'm going to make excuses for him because it is my quarterback after all. I'm going to make excuses for the rookie. Showed up this preseason, and he's done some really good things. This was a true test for him. We already know, Seahawks fans, we already know that he's going to be a project. We already know that he's going to be the third string quarterback on this team. Relax. This this was a prove it game for him. This was to get him valuable reps against many different looks from a professional NFL defense. And this game was very tough on him because he was going in with the third string starting offensive line. Those guys that you saw out there today on the offensive line might not even make the 53 man roster, let alone the practice squad. Some of these guys will, but you know what? Considering the amount of pressure, considering the amount of adversity Jalen Milroe faced here as a rookie QB in the preseason, he did an all right game. I think, he made some mistakes. Yes, the fumbles again. He was the main cause of those fumbles. The only fumble that I really say he didn't really have a chance on was the last one of the game that sealed the game for the Green Bay Packers when it was thrown over his head, whether Jalen Milroe dropped it or not. That fourth fumble, I don't fault him for. The other three, I do. He's just gonna have more ball security in that situation, but I think he had a pretty decent game despite the 3 fumbles that I think were his fault. All in all, Jalen Milroe, these are great, valuable steps and good touchdown pass, man. Like you could have just withered away. After those 3 first half fumbles, you could have withered away. You could have gone into a shell, and you could have just not balled out. But you played till the final whistle, and that Cody White touchdown, when he's able to see the pocket, when Jalen Miller is able to see the pocket, he can do some fantastic things. And if he's um, being able to, diagnose, read his keys properly without being worried too much and, having more time to throw, he's a pretty darn good quarterback, and he just needs to learn and grow a little bit. And I think that'll happen under this Seahawks regime. So good game from Jalen Milroe. Let's get to running back. Ducartier Wright, 5 carries, 65 yards, 13 yards per carry, no touchdowns. Ducartier Wright has really impressed me this preseason because every time he steps onto the football field over these past 3 games, this Seahawks team will need depth at the running back position. He is very elusive, very he's a big body, but he's got a step to him. He's got a burst to him that can show you he can really run some big time outside runs. I'm thinking of that big run he had for what it was 61 yards in this game, I believe. But it's insane to watch him work, and I hope he gets either a spot on the Seahawks or is picked up by another team to play because he has shown out that he can really play the game of football. So, the game from Jacardia Wright to wide receiver, and let's talk about the man of the hour, Cody White. 3 receptions, 69 yards, averaged 23 yards per reception, had the one solo touchdown from Jalen Milroe. This guy, Cody White, has been on this team. He was on this team last preseason, and he's on this team this preseason. And honestly, good special teamer. I wouldn't be surprised if he is on the special teams unit for the Seahawks this year, or at least on the practice squad again. But Cody Wright really showed up here. I think White's got a thing to prove to this Seahawks new regime and say, hey, if you need a fourth, fifth guy on this roster, I could take that spot. I think he's done really well with the opportunities he's been given, and we'll just have to wait and see what happens with Cody White at the end of the preseason when we go into the opening night rosters. So good game from him as a whole. Good ball security on the touchdown pass. Just really showing up and really showing the athleticism from himself. So good game from him. Let's get to the D line of the Seattle Seahawks, and let's talk about RJ Singleton. 3 solo tackles, 1 assisted, 1 sack, no forced fumbles. But here was the kind of saving grace for the Seahawks. I think the defense really played well. Despite you know, not having the offensive capabilities to win this game, it seemed. I think the Seahawks really did play well on defense. The tackling was good. I think they did a really good job trying to stop the run at certain points. I think they did what they needed to do. And this was the longest time of possession that another team has had on them because over the past 2 games, because the Seahawks had just been kind of dominant in time of possession against the other 2 opponents in the Raiders and the Kansas City Chiefs. So this was a good limit test for them. And I think the nose tackle, RJ Singleton, had some really nice plays, some really nice penetration through the Packers O line, and he got a sack there. So it's really nice to see. And you do need a nose tackle, maybe, just maybe. You've got a third string nose tackle in RJ Sillington. Good game from him. Let's talk about DB. Let's talk about the special teamer and the safety, Ty Okada. 3 solo tackles, 1 assisted, 0 sacks, the 1 interception that was thrown by Malik Willis. And man, this interception, Malik Willis throws a deep shot, and Ty Okada just one-handed snags the thing. Like one-handed snags the thing when Malik Willis just threw a cannon down the field. I don't know many people that can do that. Certainly not a guy sitting here talking to you in this video. I can't do that. But Ty Okada, man, he last preseason and this preseason is showing that him and Jarek Reed are really willing to fight it out for a 53-man roster spot, whether he's on special teams or he's backing up Kobe Bryant or Julian Love. I think Ty Okada deserves a spot on this roster. With the way he's played, like he has played very well the last two preseasons under the Mike McDonald system, and man, he showed up again here not only with his interception, but he's just got this unrelenting force behind him that just shows that he's ready to jaw with anybody. He's ready to trash talk. He's ready to fit into the Mike McDonald culture that he's building. And I think Kyle Okada really had a nice game against the Green Bay Packers. And let's get to linebacker. And this one was a tough decision. It was between Jared Ivory and this man, Patrick O'Connell, 4 solo tackles, 3 assisted, 0 sacks, 0 interceptions. But Pat O'Connell, another guy, came onto the preseason roster this year and last year. And I was talking about him a lot last year as well in my videos. If you remember the Seahawks game recap videos from a year ago, and he's picked up where he left off. The second Green Bay Packers drive of this game, of this first quarter, the first drive was Ty Okada's drive. He was making every play there was to be had. And then the second drive of the Packers in the first quarter was a Patrick O'Connell just clinic, making all the right tackles, fitting the run, making sure that the run game under his watch was not as deadly. Because without this defensive performance from the linebackers and the secondary, I do believe that the Packers would have a bigger score on their hands and would have blown out this game out of proportion. So good game from Patrick O'Connell as a whole. What went well? Despite the loss, I think the defense played well. I think context is really important, and most of our backups and starters were not playing in this game today. A lot of Seahawks fans I saw online were so angry, like so angry. They were fuming and going, "Oh, cut everybody on this team that was playing right now on defense or offense. This has been terrible." And they don't understand. I don't think people understand in the moment that we knew that this was going to be a hard game for Jalen Murrow, considering that none of our starters or backups were going to be in. This game overall was taken over by third stringers and fourth stringers trying to figure out who's going to make the practice squad and potentially the special teams unit. I think that's what this game was. This game was a challenge from Mike McDonald to the rest of the guys on this roster because there are 90 spots on this roster right now. Every spot's filled, but you have to cut it down to 53. And then you've got to have 17 guys or 16 guys on your practice squad. So for those guys, he's challenging them, going, show me what you got. Take advantage of this opportunity. And a lot of them did. A lot of them showed, I bet, Mike McDonald who he's going to keep and who he's going to let go. And hopefully they'll find jobs. But overall, I think Jalen Murrow has some things he needs to work out. I think, this being his first start in the NFL, I know it's preseason, but college and the NFL are just drastic steps for a guy who was a third round pick this draft and has all the raw athleticism that you need. You can't keep Jalen Murrow's dual threat ability. This guy is going to be so good if he just develops a lot more under not only this coaching staff, but also learning from guys like Sam Darnold and Drew Lock. He's not going to be thrown into the fire. He's not going to be thrown to the wolves. And I think, his turnovers again are a problem, but he can fix those. Those are teachable traits. You, as a young player in the league, are going to have moments where, you're going to get a little bit nervous. You're going to make mistakes, and that's okay. You just got to learn and improve from them. So, all in all, I think these were valuable reps. and he will learn from this experience. And hopefully, when he gets the chance again to play, he'll be very, very good. Because you got to remember, context is key in these situations. So, what to improve on, though? This game was dictated by turnovers, I think, in my opinion. 13 points off of three turnovers in the first half just can't happen. Green Bay capitalized. Some of their backups and some of their starters were in the game right now. And a lot of Seahawks fans that I looked at and that covered this game were like, ah, yeah, we're not really supposed to win this one. It would be nice, but considering how well Green Bay was playing, considering that some of their starters were in for the first quarter, it seemed like, and then a lot of their backups have a lot more experience. This is a very young Seahawks team, and I think Mike McDonald knows that, and he wants to challenge those young players to get them up to game speed because I think that's what a Mike McDonald kind of culture is. It is the okay, I'm going to give you an opportunity, and you're either going to sink or you're going to swim. And a lot of these guys, I think, sunk today on the Seahawks, but they're young. They'll bounce back, they'll get another shot. My final thoughts. Overall, this was a dominant win for the Green Bay Packers in this one. Good for them. They deserve this win. They showed up today and showed out, and it really shows that they're ready for the NFL regular season. And for the Seahawks, I wish we would have won this game, man. I really do. But again, you'll realize that my voice is not upset. I'm not completely and utterly losing my mind saying, oh, this is the end of the world. It's preseason. They went 1-1-1 in this preseason. And the games that they did show up in, the games that were not dominant, were the Raiders and the Chiefs. Those are the games I look at and go, yeah, yeah, this is the team. This is what we will get to see from Clint Kubiak. You might have a game like the Packers in the regular season. That's inevitable. That will happen. It is the NFL after all. You can't win them all. I wish you could, but you can't. So, what do? You just continue to find ways to improve. You decide which guys are going to make your scheme better, which guys are going to be on this practice squad so that when you have injuries, you can call them up and go, okay, we got an injury. We need you to fill in. Can you do it? Here's how you're going to play it. And man, I'm just, I'm so happy with the Seahawks team, even though in this dominant loss to the Packers, there are bright spots. You're just you're gonna have to wait for the regular season because it is a home opener against the 49ers. It's an NFC West matchup, and that is going to be so nice. See everyone, the starters back on the field, and seeing what this Mike McDonald era has for us in year two as Seahawks fans. I'm hyped for it, and I can't wait to see and can't wait to watch that game on September 7th at Lumen Field. I'll be on my couch, but it'll be so nice to see what the Seahawks can do on opening day. Anyways, that is it for me here. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. Even despite the loss, how are you feeling about this game? Are you more hopeful even in a loss like this? Do you think there are some positives to be gleaned from this? Because I'm just trying to stay optimistic. I'm disappointed, but you know what? It is what it is. You'll lose games, you'll win games. You can learn from the losses and be happy about the wins. Anyways, that is it for me here. Go Hawks, go! Take care of yourselves and have a good day. I'll have some more videos out for you very soon. Take care.